In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to package your health coaching program together, how to bring the deliverables together, how to support your clients, all those thoughts around how do I bring this expertise online. So I'm going to walk you through in this video. Welcome back, guys. Vibriel Kim here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We are the longest standing company helping health practitioners build scalable coaching businesses online without the guesswork or the grind. You have expertise. Maybe right now, a lot of that is spent one-on-one with clients or patients. And that, as we know, is very exhausting and it's not scalable. You're watching this because you're interested in packaging your intellectual property in a way that can be disseminated in some type of program, a coaching curriculum. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do in today's video. So, as a starting point, one of the things that we help our clients with once they've enrolled a client is a system we call the Dream Come True system. Now, if you've watched any of my other stuff, you know that I'm a big believer in systems because they essentially set you free. They buy back your time. They allow you to create more output for the same input or lesser input. So here, what we want to do is we want to think about three levels. We have curriculum, which is going to give you a lot more leverage. So think about when you enroll a client, they're going to go through a very specific sequence of trainings, modules, etc., that will be focused on helping them build skills. They're not just going to be watching a bunch of videos, they're actually going to do stuff. And I'll walk you through how to think about that in a second. Two, it's if you're building it more of a group-based coaching program, understanding that the community, the power of the people in your coaching program, your clients, are going to be one of the biggest reasons that they stay. Because very seldomly, the people you're going to be working with, do they have a community in their life that is understanding and supportive of what they're going through? So as an example, one of our clients, Russell, works with men who are having a tough time battling porn and sex addiction. What are the chances that those guys individually in their own lives have a community of like-minded men who are going through the same thing, on the same page, and are supportive? It's probably like the likelihood is zero. So by creating that type of container where people, your clients, can come together and have shared experiences and kind of not feel left alone, this becomes a very important piece of their healing journey. I often say that isolation kills and community heals. The third level is coaching. So this is where you layer on top your coaching, and I'm going to give you some ideas around how we can do that. But notice that if we look at this as the size of touch points, notice that curriculum is at the base. It's the foundation of everything. It's also the largest component. Because what that means is that your clients' results will be more a reflection of the curriculum that they go through as opposed to the interaction they have with you. I know that might sound hard to imagine, maybe, but please understand that none of us are as special as we think we are in one-on-one coaching. Like, if you think the only way to help people is through one-on-one, you have two options. You can hold on to that belief and keep doing that forever, and I wish you all the best. Or you can adopt a different belief, which is maybe there's a different way of doing things. Maybe I could help my clients get better results, even if I never spoke with them. Not that you're not going to speak with them ever, but you can empower them to take more ownership in the healing journey. So with that said, what we're going to do is I want you to take out a sheet of paper, or you can type this out if you want to. You can actually pause this video as we're going through this together. And I'm going to give you a number of prompts to think about how to come up with deliverables. So what we're going to do here is we're going to brainstorm all possible deliverables. And when I say brainstorm, I mean, don't worry about, can I even deliver on this? Is this even feasible? Brainstorming is about just removing the constraints and just thinking, pie in the sky. You don't have to do all of these by any means. I'll show you how to kind of narrow it down in a second. But this is a really good thought exercise to help you build out the features or deliverables of what someone's going to get when they work with you. So again, just for context, someone comes into your world, they want to solve a problem that you specifically solve. You're going to charge a premium price, which we'll get to near the end of this video. And you're getting paid for the outcome, not your time. And so we're going to start to restructure how we help people, and this is going to help us do that. So a couple examples here. Let's start off with the first question. What could you do for them? So what aspects could you include in your coaching that are done for them? Now, in health services, that might be tricky. Like in our business, one of the client acquisition systems that we would build into our clients' businesses is called the Perfect Client Pipeline. So it's meta ads to a webinar, application, phone call. So we actually build all of it out for you, right? Like we build it in your voice, obviously with your feedback, and we install it into your business in just a couple of weeks. So that's an example in our case of doing it for you. For you, what could you do for your clients? Now, I don't know exactly what you do, but you might just have to think about, what could I do for my clients? Could I send them groceries? Could I send them pre-made meals? Not that you have to, but you could. So just notice the key of the word here in most of these questions is could. Could, not should or will, right? Could implies potential, right? Doesn't mean you have to do it, but it's a good thinking exercise. What could you do with them to hold their hand, to guide them through the process? This is more done with you. As an example, when I was a trainer, I would work out not for my clients. That'd be amazing, right? Hey, you do the sit-ups, I'll get the six-pack. No. So in that type of relationship, I'm working out with the client, or the client's working out and I'm there with them. In what I currently do with Healthpreneur, like a big piece of my coaching focus is helping our clients build their selling skills. Because in a coaching business, you have to enroll clients in conversation, right? No one's going to your website and dropping thousands of dollars without speaking with you. So what I do with our clients is I actually run sales call reviews several times a week. So I get on Zoom with all my clients and they share one of their sales calls and we review it together. That's me doing it with them and giving them feedback, kind of like game tape review. So what could that be for you? What could you do with them? Next is, what could you have your clients do on their own to get the results, even if they never spoke with you? So this is where I talk about really thinking through that curriculum piece. And the curriculum is, imagine they're on a train track and there's different stations along the way until the outcome. And so you want to think about, like, what is, and I have previous videos that kind of dive a little bit deeper into this, but you want to think about what are the things that your client needs to do, skills and habits specifically, not watch videos, to become who they need to be to get the results. Because what's going to happen is our whole process is something called habit stacking. So every module or every week, we're focusing on building new skills and habits that, in doing so, will allow your clients to inevitably get the result that they want. And so when you're building out your curriculum, we want to be thinking, like, what could those clients be doing on their own to get closer to the result? And I'll give you an example. So let's say it's like, cool, I'm going to have them. And again, you can, if you can, try to be as granular as possible with this, just for your own thinking. First week they work with you, the first thing they're going to do is they're just going to drink 1 liter of water first thing every morning. That's it. Nothing else changes. Second week, they add 30 minutes of walking first thing. And they add the water. They already have the water. Now they had the walking. Third a week, maybe they had 30 grams of protein. So they have the water, they have the walking, now they have the protein. So these are examples of what they could do on their own to get the results. Now, please understand that people, even without your one-on-one, are going to do the work because you're charging a premium price. You're not going to charge $100 and expect someone to transform your life. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to get to pricing in a couple minutes, so stick with me. But please understand that the transformation happens at the transaction. So if you want your clients to be more accountable and committed to their goals, you simply have to charge accordingly. Because even if you gave somebody a course, which is not what I'm suggesting you do, even if you sold or gave someone a course and it was 10 times the price of a course that they could normally buy online, they would actually do it because they're paying 10 times as much. Okay, next is, what could you provide to make the results easier to achieve? So you'll notice that there's probably going to be some overlap in these different categories. And again, you can pause the video at any point, and I want you to really think through this stuff, right? Could do this, could do this, could do this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you look at P90X, one of the things that they did really well is when you purchase P90X, you don't just get the workouts, you get all of the equipment. So you get the pull-up bar, the bands, whatever they include in the package now. That just makes it easier and more convenient to get the results, right? As opposed to having to go to the equipment store and buying stuff on your own, all that kind of stuff. Next, what could you provide to make the results faster to achieve? So you know your audience, the market you're serving, the condition you're helping better than I do. So I can't tell you what to do here, but the question is, what could you do to provide your clients with faster results? And like, what's nice about this is the type of exercise where you just kind of like take this and you sit in a chair and you look in the sky and you think. And you always have to be thinking. You always have to be thinking about this. What can I do to help my clients win faster? What can I do to help my clients win faster? What can I do to help you have to obsess about this. So don't worry about getting it perfect. You're not going to get it perfect right away, but over time, your program will get better because you're going to see where clients get stuck, what's working well, what's unnecessary. And as an example in our business, I'm always thinking about how do I help somebody pay for our coaching in the first 30 days? That's my North Star, right? Like that's what I want us to get to. And some clients do it, some don't, right? But one of the things that helps them move faster is if it depends on what they're coming in with. So if they already have an email list or a patient list, like, awesome. Use our fast cash campaign. Here's the sequence of emails / text messages you'll send these people, and you'll essentially go from there right into new paying clients. You could do that in 2 days. So that would be an example in our case of how we could help our clients run faster. So for you, what might that be? What could you provide to make the results more convenient to achieve? So let's say, again, I'm just using some examples around workouts here because I think a lot of us can wrap our head around that. If you can help people get in shape at home, that's more convenient than if they go to the gym, right? Again, depends on who you're serving. Like if you're serving people who are powerlifters or bodybuilders, then naturally they're going to be in the gym, right? But I'm just saying for most people, it's like I'm going to be helping guys get in better shape or women lose weight. Could you help them get the results without leaving their house? You don't have to, but it's a thought. Because in the conversation with the prospects, that becomes a good selling feature. Hey, listen, you're going to get ripped. You don't even have to leave your house. Cool? Huh. Because I know for me, in both of our houses, I have gyms in the houses. I have like literally beside this office, I have a gym. It's awesome. Because I'm too lazy to go to a public gym. And I don't want to deal with all the nonsense and the people and the traffic and all that kind of stuff. And I also work out with a trainer twice a week. So I work out at home, I do my thing because it's convenient. And then I have the trainer to give me that extra level of accountability and a little more push than I get on my own. Okay, next up, if we look at more of the support side of things, more specifically, not to say that these other things don't have to have support. I'm just, the question here is, what type of support could you provide so clients would never get stuck or unstuck very quickly? So you could think about from a coaching call perspective, you have, whether you're working one-on-one with clients or a group, I'd think about having a Q&A call once a week as a starting point. So when you're starting off and you've got a couple clients, just bring them together in one call a week as a Q&A. They get to meet each other. They get to, meet the community, be part of it. Then they can ask questions. You can answer them. Super simple. You can also, if you want to offer one-on-one, I would position it in the format of office hours. So office hours are you determining a block of time a couple times a month, maybe twice a month if you want, not every day. Because if you offer too many office hours, no one shows up to the group calls, right? You basically cannibalize them. So with office hours, you could say, okay, Thursdays from 1 till 3, I have 20-minute time slots for 2 hours. So it's 6 time slots of 20 minutes. And if a client wants to book in one of those office hours, they simply use the link that you provide them, and they can do so. This is massively effective. And this is one of the fastest ways to transition out of trading time for money because number one, you control the constraints. You create the boundaries to say, I'm only doing this is 2 hours, maybe twice a month. That's it. You have one 20-minute time slot here and maybe another one if you want in 2 weeks. 20 minutes together. So what that means is I don't need the 45-minute sob story. What are the wins? Where are you stuck? What are you going to do between now and the next time we talk? That's it. Okay? This is about coaching. It's not therapy. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to coach your clients. You obviously can do whatever you want. But the difference for me, at least between coaching and therapy is therapy looks in the back, looks behind, coaching looks ahead. And I'm not saying one or the other is better. I'm just saying when you're coaching clients, it's like, we have this issue. What are we going to do to fix it? And let's move forward in that direction, right? Whatever the reason is that you have this issue, trauma, blah, 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 whatever, that's less important. Although in your case, if you're a therapist, maybe it is important. So you just have to figure out for you what's going to be that blend. And please understand that about half of our clients are therapists. So psychotherapists, social workers, the whole spectrum. And what they have found is that the reason they want to get out of one-on-one therapy is that it's absolutely soul-sucking to sit in a chair for 8 hours a day listening to people's drama and trauma and stories. And if you love that, by all means, keep doing it. Doesn't matter. Whatever's going to float your boat. But there is different ways. There are other ways of helping people that are not against what you do, but complementary. And you might find them more energizing. So the office hours is an amazing way to provide one-on-one support in a way that works for you. You're not spending 1 hour every week with every client. You set the time parameters, and then you will find it so much more effective. Because if people have an hour with you once a week, I promise you this, they're not using that hour effectively, nor are you. But if you give them a 20-minute time slot once or twice a month, they will come prepared, and they're not going to mess around with that. Hey, we'll get back to the video in just a second, but before we do, if you're an experienced health professional who's wanting to grow your business online and you want a better, faster way to do so, and you're liking what we're all about here at Healthpreneur, click the link in the description to see if you qualify for us to help you scale your business 10 times faster without the grind and without the guesswork. Click the link below in the description, and let's get back to the video. What could your clients do together without relying on you to get better results? Well, maybe they can do things like meetups locally. Maybe they can get together on Zoom to have accountability. You could have a buddy system where, hey, Jane, I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this time. Can you hold me accountable to that? And also, I want to do the same for you. So let's just say that for the two of us, based on whatever the schedule looks like, we will be at the gym, even though we live on different sides of the country at the same time, as if we're working out together, but we're simply holding each other accountable to that time. And maybe I'll send you a text to be like, you warming up? Yeah. So little things like that can be very powerful. Like in our case, our clients get together to role play sales calls. And that's just one way they can get more reps in. And then what could you provide if you charge 10 times as much? Well, think about this. If you were to charge, let's say $2,000 for let's just call it a body transformation, right? So a fitness program, any kind of like, I'm just going to use fitness, right? But please understand that the majority of our clients are not fitness professionals or more health practitioners. But I'm just using it because it's just easy for me to think about. If I gave you a workout program and accountability for $2,000, cool. But if I told you it was $20,000, you might say, Yuri, that's crazy. But I'm like, hold on. I'm going to outfit your entire home gym. I'm going to send you a Peloton and a treadmill, all your dumbbells, kettlebell, squat rack, the whole bit. All of a sudden, now the value proposition is way greater. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying you could, theoretically. You could have all their meals delivered to their house. You could hire a private chef for them for the duration of the work together, right? There's all these things you could do. Doesn't mean you have to. You could show up at their house, right? Do a live consult, do a VIP weekend with them. There's all sorts of cool stuff you could do here. So this is really all about brainstorming and just trying to get ideas out of your head, okay? So the second thing we want to do here is pick and prune, right? Just because you have a lot of ideas doesn't mean you have to use any of them or all of them. So what we want to look for here is we want to really hit the sweet spot of high value, low cost deliverables. And we want to avoid low value, high cost. So I don't know what this is going to be for you. I mean, maybe high value, low cost could be one-on-one time with you, maybe. Or maybe in my case, that's high value, but it's also high cost. So I don't offer that as, in this point of time in my coaching, because I have other things in the business that are arguably more important that other people can't do. And that for the same level of clarity and direction I could give, I have other world-class experts on our team who could do a very similar job. So what we want to do here is we want to take the deliverable ideas you have up here and we want to bring them down here. And you're just going to put them in the various categories. Are they here? Are they here? Or are they there? So low value, low cost, like low cost as in it doesn't cost you much to deliver. High cost would be the opposite. Low value is perceived value by the clients. Now, this is obviously going to have a degree of subjectivity to it, but low value are things that are like hard, complex, slow, like there's not a lot of tangible benefit to them, right? Like if you gave someone a PDF, but if you send somebody a treadmill, like you can see the difference in that value, right? So I'm not saying you have to send people a treadmill, but what we want to do here is we simply want to organize the brainstorm into these categories. And what this is going to help us do is it's going to help us prioritize what are the most important things initially for us to start with. And it's just, honestly, it's going to be most of this stuff. There might be a few things, there might be more, there might be, who knows? And then you might have a couple high value, high cost, right? But I wouldn't You definitely want to stay anyway, like just generally anything that's low value, whether it's costly or not, don't even include it. So low value and low cost, an example of this would be really long educational videos. No one cares. No one cares about how the mitochondria work. They just want to have more energy. So give them a little background of like, here's what we're doing. Here's why we're doing it. Here's what to do. Here's how to do it. Here's what I want you to do next. So really think through this. And again, if you're not quite sure, it's okay, right? Like when we're working with clients, we give them more clarity on this. To be honest, because we've been building thousands of curricula for the past 8 years, we've actually taken this whole process and a few more other frameworks, and we've distilled it into something called the Curriculum Builder, which is an AI-generated curriculum, which is incredible. So this can take previously quite some time to really map out and structure properly, but we've taken these frameworks and a few others that we have, and we've created kind of our own GPT, if you will. And now at the click of a button, you can literally have this whole thing mapped out for you. So if you have a 12-week program, you have every single week mapped out, every single piece of your modules, like the videos, the talking points, action steps, the skills and habits to build. It's crazy. Like it's so powerful. And it's all done literally at the push of a button. So what could have taken weeks or months to build now takes minutes. And that's an example of going back here. So what could you do to provide your clients, what could you provide to make your clients with the results faster to achieve? So we looked at, okay, well, our clients a lot of times want to get everything perfect, right? Health professionals. But they think that they have to get this curriculum perfectly built out and it's taken them forever. So they don't even want to enroll clients. I'm like, how does that even make sense? If I have a client for you, you're going to say like, please wait for 3 months while I build my curriculum? No. So anyways, I see this tendency. I'm like, how do we help them make this curriculum faster? And so we start playing with some stuff and figuring some stuff out. And voila, we have this literally push button in minutes curriculum builder. So it takes minutes now instead of months. But that didn't happen on day one, right? This is like 7 years later. Many iterations of our program and seeing how clients move through it. So that would be, in our case, very high value, low cost. So anyways, you can pause the video, you can fill this out, and once you're done, let's keep going. Okay, final step here is finalizing the coaching program deliverables. So this is really simple. You're simply going to fill in all the things you have up here. So primarily, it's going to be these things, not these things. I would strongly discourage you from having any low value, low cost, or low value, high cost things in your program, because it means that no one gives a shit about them. So don't include them. So basically the high value stuff is what's going to come into the deliverables. So this could be like one-on-one coaching calls, office hours, Q&A call once a week, lab test sent your door, etc., whatever you have, okay? So you're going to map all this stuff out. Now, the one thing I want to add to this that I want you to really think about, because this is very important, is these are features, and no one cares about features. What they care about are benefits. I'm always amazed when I see car videos, like even from the manufacturers, and they talk about brake horsepower and torque, and all they're doing is just rhyming off features. I'm like, I love cars, but I don't even understand half that stuff. What would be more meaningful is, let's say that the feature was, it has 700 brake horsepower. That's a feature, right? So what's the benefit to that? Depends on who you're talking to. So I had 2 McLarens. I just sold one this past week. But anyways, they have a lot of horsepower. So if I'm talking with a sales rep and the sales rep is like, hey man, so this has 570 horsepower. And you talk about driving the kids to soccer and stuff, and why that's so important is not only is it a nice flex, but when you're merging on a highway and people move slowly, you could just fly by and merge a lot safer, as opposed to if you had some beater with 100 horsepower that can't even accelerate. So that would be a benefit. So the way we do this is we answer the question. So the thing is, the features, what most people think about is, so what? Who cares? What's in it for me? Okay. So what? Who cares? What's in it for me? That's what we're all thinking, even if we're not aware of it. So you always have to tie your deliverables or features back to the benefit. And the benefits are not standard. They can be, but you have to relate it back to the conversation. So again, if I'm talking with someone who, previously hadn't had good results, which is, to be honest, it seems like every conversation we have is like, I lost all my money. I did this coaching program and they took off and scammed me and I lost all my money. Listen, if that's happened, that sucks. I apologize on your behalf, on behalf of coaches who actually do good work. It's unfortunate. So let's say that was an issue, okay? So one of our features is we offer up to 7 coaching calls a day. That's a feature. So why does that matter? Well, number one, would we offer it? Like, do you think we're just going to disappear if we've been doing this for so long? And why would we offer 7 coaching calls a day? Because we cared, right? So anyways, so the feature is 7 coaching calls a day. And so the benefit is so that when you get stuck and you have a question, you're not waiting around forever. You can literally get live on demand from an actual world-class expert, not some VA in the Philippines, but actual one-on-one with a world-class marketing, sales, mindset, tech expert on a Zoom call for your specific situation in a matter of a couple hours so that you can move forward faster instead of staying stuck and slow. So that would be how I tie that into the benefit. So the way we do this is we transition the feature to the benefit with one simple question or 2 simple questions. So that's, or which means. So we offer up to 7 coaching calls per day, which means when you inevitably get stuck, because you will, right? Business is tricky. We're going to be there right beside you. And so you'll be within hours at the most from live on-demand support from a world-class expert who knows your business and can give you personalized feedback. Would that be helpful? Yeah. So that's how you tie the features into the benefits. What I want you to do here is, as we finish this video, is look at the list of features and then tie them into the benefit. And it might be a global benefit. Remember, everyone might be a bit different based on their situation, but generally these benefits will pretty much apply to most people you speak with if, first and foremost, you're targeting one single target market who have the same issue. Okay, that's a fundamental piece to this whole process that I've talked about a million times before. All right, so we got that. We have the components of your coaching program more or less mapped out. And so the final question is, what's the investment? How much is this going to cost? So what I'd recommend is, let me do it this way. Okay, so we're going to do it this way. I'm going to show you a bell curve. You've seen this before. You've got 60% in the middle, 20% down here, 20% over here. So I would strongly discourage from middle tier pricing. So this is called the dead zone. This is where you become a commodity and you're not going to win. Down here, you're essentially the Walmart of your space. So you're competing on price. You're the cheapest option and you're playing at volume, at scale somehow. Over here, you are the Four Seasons hotel. Okay. So this is where we recommend you position yourself because number one, you're an expert, right? You've been at this for a long time. You didn't just graduate. So pricing wise, we're looking at $2,000 to $5,000 plus minimum. And this is for an outcome. Remember, we're not selling features. We're selling an outcome. I have IBS. I don't want IBS. I have acne. I want no more acne. I've got knee pain. I want to move freely. That's what you're selling. The features, this stuff, they're simply how we get you there. So are people going to be like, that's a lot of money? Sure. But what's more expensive? Having knee pain for the rest of your life or cheaper options you've already tried that don't work? So then you have to be convicted around the price. And then you obviously have to know how to have the conversation to communicate the value. And if people object to the price, then you have to without wavering, you have to know how to handle that. And that's why I spend so much time with our health professional clients to help them build their sales skills, their communication skills, so they can articulate the value like it's no problem. Because if you're not good at that, what ends up happening is you're like, you know what? People they're not enrolling here. I don't feel good about this. I want to help more people. So therefore, I'm going to go right here and I'm going to make this super cheap so more people say yes. And then you end up finding that the people down here, they still don't say yes because they're broke. They have a broke mentality a lot of times. And your business suffers because you're earning less money and you're having to support more people and they're a pain in the ass. What's the point? So all you got to do over here is just increase your skill. That's it. It's a lot easier than complicating your business. So 2 to 5K plus for a 4, 6, 8, 10, 12-week program, okay? And again, it is not a course that someone does on their own. Don't talk about it, well, when you sign up for the course, here's how you position this. For us to work together, the investment is $2K, right? This mentorship program is $2K. It's not this course. When people hear a course, they have a connotation of like, oh, it's a bunch of videos. It's not. The course, if anything, is just the curriculum. But even then, it's like, don't even call it a course. Curriculum, community, coaching. These are the 3 layers that build out your dream come true system, which is a fancy way of saying your coaching program. This is how to package your expertise, take all of what you know, and bring it together in a way that is going to be more packaged, succinct, and productized so you can have more people coming through without you trading time for money forever. Now, I do have other videos on the channel that go a little bit deeper into some of the nuances of building out your curriculum. So I'll be sure to link up to them at the end of this one. But for now, if you've enjoyed this, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button because I've got hundreds of other videos to help you grow a thriving online health coaching business, but only do so if you care about, actually helping a lot of people and making money in the process. And for now, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. I've been in business online for the past 20 years, and recently I've discovered 5 painful things that I've had to learn again. I'm sharing them with you in this video so you avoid the mistakes that I made, so you can help grow your health coaching business faster without the guesswork, without the grind, and without a lot of the pain that I had to go through.